I'm live. Are you live? Hi, everybody. Welcome to session 4 of Soul Shift for February. We have come to the end of our work for this month. And Karen Brown sees me. I'm officially real. I wore my love shirt for you because we're making love medicine tonight. I hope you're excited about that. Woo! Are you guys ready for that? It's so funny, like it's the day of love and love medicine and all this stuff, and then I get a call from my daughter who's got like mean girl stuff happening at school, and I'm like, the universe is very interesting because it teaches you love, sometimes through the opposite of love. So all will be well, but my tolerance for mean girl stuff is very low. So I had to do a little coaching for my daughter today. I'm so glad you're ready. My cold is complete. I didn't take any cold medicine last night. I took nothing today. I think I'm doing good. I know. And it's Pisces season, and she's such a Pisces, and this one little girl is just gnarly. It's so hard. And the rest of them are okay. There's just one little gnarly lady. What did I do with her? I told her, this is at least my advice. What I told her is, we don't chase people. If someone doesn't want us, then we don't want them. And what we do is we expend our energy. She didn't get invited to a birthday party that everybody else got invited to, and the little girl wasn't so nice about it. So I said, oh, no. And she's like, no, but I still want to be friends with her, and I want to invite her to my birthday party, which is in 2 weeks. And I said, oh, no. We don't chase people. So that little girl, we wish her the best. We send her on her way with love. We just smile upon her path, and then we don't think about her anymore because we don't chase. Anyway, it's hard because in life, what I have found is we often want the people and the things and the situations that don't want us back. And I taught her, I said, I'm going to teach you something that's kind of grown up, but I said, you're very, very smart, so I think you will get it. And honestly, that's totally my philosophy. I've never chased a person in my life. I've actually had people get upset with me because I don't chase them. When they're like, okay, I'm leaving, and I'm like, okay, bye. I don't chase people. But anyway, I said, there's a saying, hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice, shame on me. And I said, do you understand what that means? And she translated it perfectly. She was like, yeah, if somebody does something wrong, the first time they do it, then yeah, it's their fault. But if they do something wrong to me again, then I probably let them back in, and then it's kind of my fault too. And I said, exactly. If you can learn that now at 10 years old, then the rest of your life is going to be a lot easier. But I was like, no, darling. You are a Paracas woman, and we chase what chases us. What doesn't chase us, we let it be. She got the point. I mean, other people might say other things. What I said to her is, I'm sure that she's a lovely person, and we just need to let her be and move on her way. And inside, I'm like, oh, because I'm such a lioness. I am such a lioness. Such a lioness. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, I was bullied in 7th grade, and it wasn't good. And I'm so thankful to not have grown up in an era of social media. And so my rule with my kids is, you don't talk about anybody, you don't chase anybody, you don't refer to anybody. You focus on you and your business and the people who love you and the people who support you and the people who are nice to you, and you do you. But you don't think about other people, you don't talk about other people, you don't because it's terrible. Girls are terrible. And I'm saying this in a group of mostly women. Women don't know how to treat other women for the most part. I think, us here in the collective, we've created a different dynamic, and I think it's because a lot of us were excluded or mistreated or unappreciated, and so we've decided to be different. But there are still plenty of women, adult women, who are not kind to other women. They'll put them down, or they'll judge them, or they'll, like, oh, I can't believe she did that. Or, I mean, half the stuff I want to post on social media, I don't, just because I know somebody's going to judge it, which is really terrible. And it's not going to be a man who's going to judge it. It's going to be a woman, right? So anyway, women are really shitty to other women. I still have, somebody brought me something the other day of somebody who's, who was saying something that was unkind about me. And it was just like, of course, women just do that sometimes. So it doesn't really surprise me anymore. And when it comes to me, I can tolerate it. But when it comes to my kid, it's like, oh, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. So, but you guys, I think, are really the exceptions to that rule. I think for the most part in this group, people here have been through enough in life where we kind of get it. We understand. We've been on both sides of that. We've been unkind to others, and we've also had people treat us unkindly, so we understand that. So, but I was laughing. I'm like, oh, universe, on the day when I'm about to make love medicine, and I'm making sexy love medicine today. If you are too, then I'm right up your alley. I'm like, oh, universe, on the day I'm going to make love medicine, you show someone being unkind to my daughter. That's exactly how it goes. Yeah, people get jealous, and people get, offended, and I can be very offensive. Just because I don't have the same, filter sometimes. I don't have the same, I don't know, sometimes as the normal kids do. So I try to really dial it back a little bit so that I don't push people over the edge. People do need to chill. Well, and you know what I've noticed too is people who are unkind usually haven't had the big life events yet. They haven't had the death, the illness, the whatever. And I don't wish those things on people, but the universe does use some of those big events to teach people. And a lot of times when I find people who are unsensitive or unkind or catty or say one thing to your face and another thing behind your back, what I've noticed is a lot of them have not had the big things happen. The big things teach you that we're kind of all playing on the same team. Do you know, no matter how different I am from you, I still bleed if you cut me. I'm still a little girl on the inside, you know what I mean? The big things teach us how similar we are and help us to overcome our differences. So sometimes it's that. And then some people, are just unique in that way. But I felt myself literally today. You know how the lion, have you ever seen lions in the wild? I'm such a true Leo. I literally was kind of sitting there licking my paws when I heard this, and literally I was put my paws down, settle myself up. Now I'm up on my paws. When you get me up on my paws, now we're going to have a conversation. I was like, oh shit. But I think it is good for us to all recognize these things. And sometimes when things are happening with other people in your life, it allows you an even clearer vantage point to be a witness to it. Oh, what is that about? I literally was like, so it's all gonna be fine. It's all good. It's all already good. But it is a good reminder of what matters and that we need to be kinder to each other when we get a chance. Okay. We are making this tonight. You guys make me laugh so hard. We're making a sex bag tonight. And so everything for this was in your mesa for this month. I really tried to make it sexy for you. So what you got in your mesa, I added a couple things to mine, so I'm going to show you. You got a little piece of this sexy little velvet with the crystals, then you got a piece of lace, and then you got a stone, a crystal, and you got a charm. Could be a little bit different, right? We're making a little love bundle. But we're going to do this with some intention. And I'm going to shake it up tonight. Are you ready? Because I like to shake it up. Usually when we make love medicine, we work with Venus or we work with Aphrodite, who are, of course, two faces of the same energy stream, or we work with, Aina from the Celtic tradition. We work with a love goddess, right? Tonight we're not. Tonight we're not. Tonight I want to work with the Dakini. I'm going to introduce you to the Dakini, who are these fiery, trickster, playful, edgy spirits, these feminine, creative, powerful, sexy, violent, dark, tumultuous, light, playful, fun. They're everything. They're light and shadow spirits that come from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, which is where I learned about it from a teacher of mine who was trained under a Tibetan Buddhist. And they're very fiery. They're very playful. And what I'm working with in love right now, I mean, my cards are always on the table, but I've been with my partner for 20 years, and I'm 46. We met in 2000, so we met 20 years ago. And by meeting, I mean, we like hooked up. Do you know what I mean? So I've been with him for 20 years. And there's always like a next level of your relationship that you can evolve into. And I'm in a place, like I'm in a playful place. I'm in a kind of keep it exciting, keep it interesting, keep it like easy, but keep it, interesting, and keep it diverse and dynamic, right? So if you're in kind of a playful place too, what I like about the Dakini is that it's not Kali. Kali is almost too dark. Kali's got that like necklace of skulls around her neck, and Kali, with her big tongue out and stuff. There's a little bit of Kali that's almost too much shadow and not enough light. Whereas the Dakini, you can almost call upon, because there's many Dakini spirits. You can call upon a Dakini that really aligns with the essence of the intention that you're holding for love. And so I want to encourage you, and Callie's single, right? Candace is like, I'm always in that place. Cue siren. Literally, we did. I'm a spicy enchilada too. There's a little extra jalapeno in my cocktail, which probably doesn't surprise you. It's like the longest siren of all time. Dakini, which we haven't really talked about the Dakini before, so I thought this would be really interesting for you. So if you're single, I want you to think about tonight, what kind of partner, playmate energy are you calling in? And then what I'm calling in is what I call the edge. So just to give you some inspiration, right? The edge. I like to incorporate the edge into everything that I do. And there's different kinds of edges. There's the learning edge, which is a coaching term. The learning edge is like what you don't know yet. The learning edge is, do you remember if you were in high school or college and you had teachers who kind of really pushed you and almost pushed you too far, where you were like, my brain hurts? Did you ever have a teacher like that? I was that teacher for a lot of people. But it's also fun, like where you're like, oh, this is almost intellectually too much for me, but I'm also kind of turned on because this is so interesting. That's the learning edge. So think of that and translate that to love. The love edge is, this is almost too much. This is almost too intense. This is almost too spicy. This is almost too playful. This is almost, but not quite. And so that edge is very creative. In coaching, we want to take people to their learning edge because it keeps them on their toes. And when you push people to an edge, not over the edge, but when you take them right up to it, it's actually the most creative vortex that you can create for people in whatever profession you're working in. But especially if you're coaching or you're trying to get people to to grow, but you don't want to make it painful, but you want to keep them right on that edge where they're like, I'm not sure. Am I going to pass this class or not? Am I going to stay in this relationship or not? Am I going to get what I want and what I need or not? It's almost an edge. And I find that edge to be very, very exciting. And Tiffany finds it exciting too. So, and not everybody is edgy. So tonight, if you want to, you could make this very, very traditional. I will tell you, other than our potion for this month, I went and grabbed, if some of you have this, this is our spicy sex potion from a few months ago. Last summer, I think this was from. It's one of my favorites. I've got our sex honey that we made in July, which I still eat. I don't know if you do. It's crystallizing a little bit, but it's still in pretty good shape. And I'm also working with Sage Goddess Night for mine, because edginess for me in love is night magic. And this is all night blooming flowers. And so this is we did a day and a night version, but if you have your night version, you can go and grab that. It's night blooming jasmine and all of the night blooming nightshade flowers. Yeah, and so Danielle got her sex honey. Tatawari would be another great one. Song Rouge, absolutely. Oh, I have my Song Rouge in my office. I should grab it. You could actually put spice in here. You could put cloves in here. I would love to see you put like a cardamom pod in here, which is all about sex. And cardamom is literally orgasmic. When I was younger and didn't have kids and wasn't so busy, I would actually hand grind in a molcajete. I would hand grind cardamom pods down and take the powder and put it into my coffee in the morning and brew cardamom coffee, which is very stimulating for the sacral chakra. 1001 Nights, 1000%, Freya Dark, 1000%, Venom. See, I don't have to tell you guys. Like, look at the feed. Pomegranate seeds, holly is absolutely brilliant. I love that so much. Roses from Valentine's Day, Jamie Olson. Oh, I love that. I'm getting Cecilia all hot and bothered. I love it. Yes, Jamie, get your Valentine's roses. Sacra is old school. Arcs is the only one where I would say I am not sure, because Arcs is going to close the energy down. Arcs creates a very tight container. Arcs was the first protection perfume I ever created at Sage Goddess. I don't even know if we have it in stock anymore. I don't think we do. But anyway, it's still my favorite. Arcs means fortress in Latin, and it literally is this energetic like set of walls around you. And I don't know, I mean, for what we're trying to do with the edge and passion and desire and like letting all this flow through, because what I'm trying to teach you this month, and if you haven't read all of the text that I wrote for you, which is in your classroom, please take the time to read it. And I would love your feedback. What I'm trying to teach you this month in a nutshell, in Pillars of Priestessing, and reinforcing it tonight with our crafting, is this. Your sacral chakra is your secret ingredient. If you have adrenal fatigue, it's because you have a sacral chakra blockage. I have no doubt that is the connection. People who have adrenal fatigue, which is basically your body telling you you're at the end of your rope, have a shutdown sacral. And what I'm writing about, because every Pillars of Priestessing class is becoming a chapter in this book that I'm finishing at the end of the year. And the piece that I haven't given you yet, because I haven't finished it yet, but it'll be in the book, is, because I want to share this with you too, because I think this is important to talk about. I don't believe that sexual dysfunction is dysfunction. It really makes me very sad that there's a term called erectile dysfunction. That makes me very sad. When I hear it, or I hear people talk about ED, or I hear people talk about dysfunction of any kind, what I'm going to write about in the book, but I'll tell you now, is sexual desire is a shapeshifter, right? It looks different in your 20s and in your 30s than it looks in your 40s and your 50s. In your 20s and your 30s, sexual desire is about procreation, because you're able to have children. And that's why you have the stimulation that you have. It's why you have the sex drive that you have. In your 40s and your 50s, you're not meant to have children. Now, people do, and more power to them. I can't imagine. I'm so tired already. I can't imagine having another baby. But in your 40s and your 50s, that's not what your sex drive is for. It doesn't need to be about an orgasm that leads to impregnation, that leads to delivery of a human being. And so in your 40s and your 50s, your sex drive becomes about connection and expression. And it doesn't need to doesn't need to culminate in a physical expression of that. And honestly, right, in your 40s and your 50s, the gift of not needing to finish is about you recognizing that now you can work with that life force, you can use that life force, you can channel that life force as a creative energy stream and not as a procreative energy stream. If we could agree on this as a society, we would stop making men feel really, really guilty about what is really a biological reality, that in their 40s and 50s, men become these partners who show up in their relationship where their sexual desire is simply about the creative expression, and it doesn't have to lead to specific outcomes. Does that make sense? It's a beautiful time, but our society calls it a dysfunction and then gives you a pill for that, which I think is terrible. I really don't agree with that. It's really important, and we can liberate our partners, and some of you in this group are men, and I don't know whether you're in that stage yet or not, but I really wish, if I could give the world a gift, it would be to take away the term dysfunction, because it's actually a liberation that there's no pressure anymore. We're not here to create life. We're here to create pleasure, and we're here to create expression, and we're here to create art, and we're here to create connection, and we're here to create authentic union, and we're here to create play, and we're here to create exploration, and we're here, when you take off the responsibility, right, and the burden of all of that, then you free up all these other emotions and these experiences, and that's what's really exciting. Well, but part of it is, so Barbara's what if a man wants to have an erection and cannot? That's also partly about that man letting go of expectations, which are both conscious and subconscious. When men feel freed from the outcome, in general in life, I've noticed this. I don't like to do stereotypes, but when men feel free from an outcome or an expectation, they come alive. In our society, we expect men to protect us and to have an erection and to be strong and to, we have all these expectations of men that have become norms over time. When we liberate men from those expectations, all of a sudden they're free. They subconsciously need to be freed from those expectations too. And then all of a sudden it's much more exciting. It's much more playful. It's much more enjoyable, but it has to be, all parties involved have to agree that this is the reality, right? And that our freedom is more important than an explicit outcome. And then in our 40s and our 50s, it's not about the outcome. It's about the journey. It's not about the result. We're not trying to create life. And so we take that pressure off the table, and all of a sudden, all these other possibilities come forward for us, right? Which, remember, that card came up in our live readings today, right? The Priestess of Possibilities, and how she can think about other alternatives, right? Yeah. Well, and men really take it personally because they think that everybody else is performing and they're the only ones. And so if we can just kind of take the lid off that box a little bit and start to speak more openly about it, which is why I'm writing about it, I think we're going to heal a lot for men in our society. And then for women, we also have to recognize in the 40s and 50s and 60s, it's not about even the orgasm, right? It's about the process. The idea that generating that desire is creative and not procreative. You don't have to procreate. Those days are behind us, some of us. Guarana seed powder is actually one that some people use for erectile function. It's interesting, Tammy, that you mentioned that. But guarana seed it's sex drive and passion and life force and all of that. So if you have your guarana seed, and you might have other herbs from other mesas that you want to go and pull off your medicine cabinet and stuff, so take a minute, do that, and that will be very helpful. I actually have my Palo Santo. That's my Champaka. Which one is this one? Oh, this is my Damiana Okay, so let me burn a little bit of this medicine for you. This is Palo Santo that's been soaked in all of the sex oils. I don't know if we have any of this left, but this was my favorite of all the ones that we did. Because spring equinox is going to be here before you know it. I'm raising all of that Kundalini energy because it's go time and I'm ready. I've been waiting all season for this. Isn't that hot? I just love looking at it. So there's some Damiana. There's a little ginger in there and other things for you too. Yeah, Lady's Mantle and Goldenrod are the two herbs from this month's kit that we're going to be working with tonight. And then the essential oils from this month's kit, which are the Acacia and the Amber. So good. A bit for you. Yeah, Lady's Mantle is Mantel. I'm going to refresh for you too what each one of the herbs is about, just so that you know what you're working with. Okay. So before we go back to that, though, I want to talk about love medicine in general. So tonight, yeah, Yarrow is great too. Yarrow is just a healer. So if you need healing in order to create love medicine, and only you are going to be able to answer that question, that's about what you've been going through recently. You know, have you been struggling in love? Have you felt disconnected? Have you felt lonely? Have you felt whatever it is, right? So tonight, your love medicine could be about healing your heart. Tonight, your love medicine could be like mine, which is like turning up the volume just a little bit. When I get that feeling. So if you need sexual healing, tonight's the night. Some of you might want physical healing. Some of you, with our work this particular month, may have decided, you know what, I've got sacral chakra blockage, and so I want to heal that with this love medicine that you're making tonight. Your intention is really, really, really important. Some of you might be trying to attract something new into your life, a new edge, right? A new person to represent that edge. That's what this bundle could be about for you tonight. So even more important than what goes into the bundle is your intention as you make it. And this becomes a prayer. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be saying prayers as we blend our medicine and bind our medicine tonight. And then you'll have to choose where you put this. But I recommend having it in your bedroom and somewhere near where you sleep. So this is your little example of what the finished product is going to look like. Do you guys have any questions before we start? Jamie Olsen made me laugh. Yeah, and you know what? You can... Oh, Heather would be very good, Deanna Franco. Heather has labbed in a minute, which is like a whole other story. But Heather's very powerful as an attracting oil. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are excited about tonight. You can be manifesting something new in your relationship. It doesn't even have to be like a new person. It can be a new iteration or a new expression or a new experience. It doesn't have to be like a completely new relationship. And so that's what I'm saying. And ultimately, I will tell you, I think the people who have the longest lasting and most healthy relationships, especially intimate physical relationships, are constantly reinventing. They don't let themselves get bored. They don't let themselves get stale. You know, they're constantly trying to recreate and open new energy streams and allow something new to come through. And that's for attracting to true love. Yes, and so your powder tonight, by the way, your honey powder from your jar is going to go into your... We anointed with this. Was it last time? Yeah, during the journey, before the journey, we anointed with this. But if you missed the journey, this is also good to include in your love medicine tonight. So have your herbs, have your powder, have your crystal and your charm. And then what I've gathered up too, I've gathered up a white sage leaf, which you get in all of your packages from us. So you probably have one of these laying around from all these years. Just to clear the energy of the medicine bag too. It kind of creates a clean slate. And then I have a little rosebud, which was a gift from a client of mine, a very loving gift. And so I thought that would be perfect to include. And then I have a little tiny sprig of dried lavender from my garden at home to represent peace. because it's always good to create a balance when you make medicine. So I'm calling in like excitement and the edge and the intensity and the passion and but on the other side I also want peace and balance and beauty and right. Yeah, the honey powder came in your Mesa kit. That's what's in your little with your poof. That's your honey powder. So all of that is, like I said before, is edible. It's all made in-house here at SG because the base is honey. But the ultimate thing to do is to put it into your medicine bag tonight. So if you don't have liquid honey, the reason you want honey in every craft that you do for attracting something is honey attracts. It binds energy. And so that's why Beeswax Absolute is in some of our prosperity perfumes. It's sticky and it's thick and it's like a spider web. It like pulls energy into it. So you always want to use honey. This goes back all the way to some of the hoodoo traditions, and when we do our attraction jars, our jars for Yemaya, where we put our honey blessing jars, the reason they put honey in there is to sweeten and to attract. And so this practice of putting honey in all of your medicine goes way, way, way back before even any of the modern traditions. And remember, the honey was used, Kefi, which is the oldest incense blend we know about. It's the first temple incense blend that was made in ancient Egypt. Kefi has honey in it. And that was the binding ingredient that held that incense blend together. So honey is very important. Arabic gum, if you have it, is old AF and very powerful as a binding agent too. The other ingredient, if you have it, most people don't, is benzoin resin, Styrax resin. If you have that, that's another really great sticky, thick binding agent that attracts and lumps and connects and all of that. Our sex honey from last year still tastes really good. I eat it all the time. Right off the spoon. It's so good. So anyway, honey is a natural preservative. So as long as you want to eat that, you can. Okay, so I want you to take a moment. A Popanax is a great fixative too. Olivinum, galbanum, labdanum, natural fixatives. Benzoin Styrax. What else is a good fixative? Patchouli is a good fixative too. And patchouli is patchouli is like grounding dirty sex. At least for me, it's very grounding dirty sex. And then cardamom is like kind of like upper chakra clean sex. A little bit. Yeah, you do have benzoin from a previous kit, so you guys are in good shape. You're in good shape. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. I want you to roll your shoulders back. I'm going to open a circle just because we are kind of raising energy. We should make sex honey again this year, just in case anybody doesn't have it or doesn't know what it is. I'm going to light my candle just because I'm obsessed with this month's candle. I've lit it like 3 or 4 times a week every week. I love it so much because it's all amber and rose. So I lit that. You can light your candle too if you want. We're basically using all of our tools tonight. Every single thing tonight. Okay. Roll your shoulders back. Call your energy into present time. And I'm going to invite in these Dakini spirits to be present with us. These playful tricksters, sexual, sensual, intoxicating, intense, passionate wisdom keepers. And because there are so many different Dakini spirits, I want you to imagine connecting with the one that's just right for you, the one that really gets what you're trying to create. And so whether you're trying to create freedom or passion or intensity or commitment, or where you're trying to attract a new love that's very innocent, very pure, and very new, or you're trying to rev the engine of your your car that's a little bit older maybe, which is worthwhile. And so tonight we call upon the Dakini energy that will best support our intention for this work. And I want you to imagine if you could If you could manifest with this love medicine from tonight exactly what you're trying to create or bring into your life, exactly, like place it in order. If you could call it in right now, what would show up on your doorstep? What would it feel like? What would it taste like? What would it smell like? What would it look like? How would you feel? What would you be wearing? What would it smell like in the air? Would your heart be pounding? It's fun, right? Like, we're doing a lot of sexy things this month. Back seats. I love it. What would it look like if your Dakini literally delivered to your door right now everything that you're trying to create? And I really want you to check. Don't attach it to a particular person. Leave the universe some free will. I want you to check your doubt mechanism. If you start going, well, but that's not really going to happen, and I can't really have that. This is a really vibrant and abundant universe. And it sure does want to make you happy. So don't choose someone in particular, because you got to leave the universe some room to breathe and move. But what would it look like if it literally, you placed your order and that order showed up right at your door? And take a nice deep breath there. And while you're in this kind of softer place, and I'm leaning in and checking in with all the guides and guardians of the gateways and inviting them into our space too. Guides of the East bringing us a new mindset tonight. Guides from the South bringing us passion. Guides from the West bringing us healing. Guides from the North bringing us protection. I want you to really commit to this idea that your enjoyment of your life is connected to your priestessing. Your sensuality, your enjoyment, your laughter, your ability to like love the food and the people and the scent and the texture and your lust for life is part of who you are as a spiritual person, and is part of who you are as a spiritual leader. We naturally, as human beings, want to be around people who have a lust for life. Don't you? Well, and that's fine, Rena. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be a partner. It can be a deeper, more lusty, more sensual relationship with yourself. It doesn't need to be another person, right? But when you have a choice, don't you want to be around somebody who is just so fucking happy to be alive? And is like, oh my God, this food, this drink, this room, this energy, this scent, you want to be around that because those people are alive and it feeds you too. And so tonight I want you to become that for a minute. Even if it's not like native to you or normal to you, I want you to try tonight to just be a little bit more like, yes. Love it. This life is weird and it's hard and it's challenging and it's also amazing and beautiful and offers you all these opportunities to connect and to feel. And it's like, yes, I want it. I want all of this. I want you. I want this experience. I want this now. I want this energy. I want this flow. I want this body. I want this. And it doesn't have to be around anybody else or anything else. But I want you to get excited about your life, because the minute you do, whether you realize it or not, you subconsciously let go of fear. When you're just excited to be here and excited to experience it all and joyful for, I mean, I'm looking at this table and I've got honey and a beautiful candle burning and, you know, these herbs and a crystal and everything's beautiful. And it's like, this is amazing. I don't need anything else other than this. And when you get to that place, that's when the universe starts to really bestow all the blessings on you. But you have to get to that place of like, yes, I want this. I want all of this. This is so good. It's juicy. It's fun. It's sensual. It's sexy. It's intoxicating. Because here's the thing. Most of us go around trying to fill that or create that through other things. Through our relationship or by buying something or by, I don't know, by believing something or by wishing for something or by, we'll say, well, I'll feel like that next year when I lose 50 pounds, or I'll feel like that, you know, when I'm done with school, or I'll feel like that when my kids are older. But instead of postponing it, I want you to look around your table right now. I want you to look at yourself right now and just decide to be in love anyway. Get excited about it. Desire to touch it, to experience it, to connect it, right? And yeah, I mean, buying clothes is a great example. I used to spend money on clothes when I was younger. I don't anymore, obviously, but I used to. And I used to think that that was going to make me really excited about life, except it didn't. Because I have to love what's inside those clothes first. And then once I fell in love with what's inside those clothes, I was like, fuck, I don't need clothes, right? It's like you think it's all this external stuff until you realize, like, no, it's this moment. It's that glass full of kombucha. It's that candle that's burning that looks so sexy. It doesn't look like a chicken, but it's hot. It's this sexy honey powder I'm going to lick off myself in a minute. It's that, you know, half-burned Palo Santo stick that's still smoldering. It's like everything. Fall in love with everything. And then you don't have to fall in love with anything. That's the secret to it all. But we are always willing to say, you know, I'll be happy when, I'll feel better when, I'll feel sexier when. It's not going to happen if you can't be totally in love in this moment. And then you become that person that everybody wants to be near. That's how you start to magnetize. It's like, ooh, what's she having? I'll have some of that. Ooh, what's he having? I'll have some of that. It's like, yeah, it's the life force. And it starts flowing through you. And then it starts to magnetize to you. And that's why prosperity can't happen if we don't do this work. I could teach you every trick in the book for manifesting prosperity. If your sacral chakra is blocked, it ain't happening for you. And that's why I'm spending so much time, an entire month of our priestess training, teaching you about this energy and how to run this energy so that you understand it's all connected. Your creativity is connected to your sensuality, is connected to your ability to manifest in your life, whether it's love or prosperity or health or whatever it is that you're trying to create. Right? Get into it. So, Tiffany, stay here. Do your mantras, do your frequencies, do your meditation that we did, do the journey from last week. Stay here. Work with your materials tonight. Set an intention. Make this bundle. And read what I've written and shared with you. And every single step, it's like, I'm coming at you. I'm unlocking your door, but I've got 5 or 6 different keys. So I'm going to try the oil key. Well, that doesn't work. I'm going to write you something pretty. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to help you make a medicine bundle. Well, that didn't work. Well, that didn't work. But the mantra worked. And you never know what it's going to be for you. Everybody's got a different key that unlocks that door, which is why I come at you with all these different tools and techniques and practices and pieces of wisdom, because it's like, that did it. I will find your button. It may take me a couple of pushes to get there, right? Yes, and then, that's right, Ladina's like, is this why my business is evolving this month? Once you unlock these doors, all the other doors begin to unlock, because it starts here. It starts here. Do you believe that you can create or not? Do you want to show up in a passionate way for this life or not? And tonight's a good night to get it going. And seriously, no, I mean, find your button. Don't push it too hard. Cecilia's meme the other night had me laughing so hard. I'm not going to repeat it, but it was real good. Okay, so we have our candle lit. I've taught you about the Dakinis. Do you feel connected to the Dakini energy? Do you feel like you understand it? It's like an army of female spirits, but they all come in with a different kind of edge, right? And so some of it's playful, some of it's naughty, some of it's dark and shadowy, some of it's light and effervescent like champagne bubbles, some of it's curious, some of it's intellectual and really deep, some of it's lighthearted and full of laughter. Do you feel like it? Like, call your particular one in tonight. I know what Dakini I'm working with tonight. And then when we're done, if you have your Crystal Masters wand, we're going to charge your bundle tonight with it, which I think is really cool. It gives you another way to use your tools. Okay, so let's go back to our herbs really quick and just refresh. We spent a lot of time on your oils, but I want to just briefly touch back upon your herbs for you. So goldenrod, which is one of your herbs from this month, is prosperity as well as prophecy and encouragement. It helps in the quest for love, and it comes from the Latin word or combination of words. I love the smell of it. It's kind of tea-like. It's like a little bit of a spicy tea. And we talked about goldenrod for urinary tract infections. Like, this is your new BFF as a tea if you get chronic UTIs, right? I love you guys so much. It comes from the Latin word to make whole. And again, I think if you heal the sacral chakra, it is the ultimate, like, first important step to becoming a whole, functional human being. If you can get your sacral open, especially as a woman, because society is here to basically clamp down on the sacral for us in so many ways. If you can get your sacral open, it's like the rest of the chakras fall open after that. Woo! It attracts birds, it attracts bees, it attracts butterflies, it attracts human beings, and but it is a very powerful healer for the female urinary tract, and as well as the bladder and kidneys. Okay. Lady's Mantle smells a little bit better even than goldenrod, so just a recall on this, or a refresh on this. And Lady's Mantle is luck, marriage, sleep, spirituality, well-being, changes, courage, alchemy, love, attraction, magic, releasing of the past, fertility. And in alchemy specifically, it was thought to be one of the materials that could be used to transform a base metal into gold. It's associated with the Virgin Mary. What else do I want to tell you? It's used in almost every love spell, potion, amulet to attract love that's ever been made before. I mean, literally, if you look back at like old Wiccan spell books and everything else, Lady's Mantle is always there as a love drawing herb. So it's one of the most important ones. And then, like I said, I'm adding rose, which is very Venusian, very much associated with Venus, and you can add anything else that you would like. Uh-oh, Daphne's allergic to goldenrod. I hope you don't need it. I hope you don't have Peester problems, as we call them in my house. If you have Peester problems, goldenrod is very, very helpful. But instead of goldenrod for urinary tract infections, if you're allergic to it, try uva ursi. I use goldenrod and uva ursi at the first sign of a UTI, and it blows it right out of the system. If you wait too long, then you have to use antibiotics. But when you first start to get that little funky feeling that tells you I might have a urinary tract infection, if you know what I'm talking about, if you do a little goldenrod with a little uva ursi, it'll knock it right out. And it is an antihistamine as well, so it's interesting that you're allergic to it, right? It does smell like tea. And it actually, it's a very yummy tea as well. You could blend both of those together into a tea if you want. Okay, so I am going to bring my camera down so you can see what I am doing, since we are crafting. And give me just a minute to make sure my camera is... how to make tea out of your herbs. You need to get yourself a little tea strainer. You can find them on Amazon. They actually have little cutie pie ones on Amazon, shaped like little moons and little stars, and they all have a little kind of like flip door. And so you just put your herbs into your tea strainer, close up the little door of whatever kind of tea strainer that you buy, and put it in your coffee cup or teacup, pour hot or boiling water over it, and let it steep for at least a minute or two. You don't want to let your tea oversteep because then it gets kind of bitter. And that's how you make tea out of loose herbs. I know we're bringing back our harem pants. I have about 20 pair of them that I rotate between. I wear them all the time. They're so comfortable. We are bringing them back. My thing is I'm super picky about the patterns because I don't like super bright colored ones. I like more muted patterns like this one. So I'm working on getting patterns that I like right now. Okay, so I want you to put your velvet down with the soft side facing down and the rough side facing up, because we're going to be ultimately closing this. And so I want you to get, this is your palette. We're starting here, right? If you're just, no, Tracy, you're right on time. You are right on time, actually. We're just getting started making our love medicine bags, so you're in great shape. Okay, and then what I want you to do is I want you to figure out which oils you are anointing with, because we're going to kind of set the foundation of this. And so I'm going to start with my my essential oil blend that I made in class with you during session 1, which smells even better today than it did before, and 1 drop at each corner. And I want you to just imagine this as a container now of energy, that all of your vision and your desire and your intention for your love medicine is now held in this specific space. I'm going to put my notebook away so I'm not distracted. I take crafting very seriously, and I'll tell you, I'm a process person, and I think it's really important to set the space, to hold your intention or your vision, and to really focus and be present for the whole thing. I really, really think that that's the better part of magic. If you want, you can go into your smudging shell, which I always like to do, and you can get a little bit of ash. Just go in and scoop a little bit. And you can put that in the middle as an offering. And if you have a little bit left, you can put it at your third eye as a blessing for your body. Ash is very sacred. And then I'm going to put a white sage leaf in the middle. This is just kind of the foundation. You can crush it if you want. I'm going to crush mine just a little bit. And then a prayer. Doesn't it smell better? Your perfume, I swear, if you blend it during session 1 and you go back and use it during session 4, where we are tonight, I promise you, perfumes, especially natural essential oil-based perfumes, get better over time. So I'm glad you're enjoying that. It's perfect for Ash Wednesday, right? I know. For those of you who celebrate, that is today. Okay. And so, Great Spirit, guides and guardians, God and Goddess, see us this evening as we work love medicine for ourselves. See us as we set an intention tonight for the love that we wish to experience and call in, for the energy that we want to vibrate in alignment with, for the passion, the intensity, the love, the connection, the joy, the beauty that we wish to experience in our lives. And really take a moment here to, again, to visualize, to crystallize what that looks like for you, right? And take a deep breath. The most important part, by the way, when you're visualizing is how you will feel when you have this love. when this is available to you, even if it's self-love, right? You'll feel whole, you'll feel excited, you'll feel animated, you'll feel juicy, you'll feel fulfilled, you'll feel optimistic, you'll feel all the things that you will feel with this energy in your life. And so we call upon you, Dakini spirits, to infuse this medicine with your power and your energy, your vision, your creativity. We authorize you to work on our behalf tonight, to magnetize these energies from the 4 directions and call them forward into our lives. We ask for this love medicine to be potent and strong, and we ask for it to work in alignment with our highest good and the highest good of all beings on this planet at this time. And together we say Amen Aho, and so it is. And then use your breath, right? I love that. Ursula said she'll feel like she's at home. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of my sex powder. Sex powder. I feel like such a superhero when I work with this stuff. I don't know why. This has honey in it, so with this powder we attract what we seek. And as I'm adding ingredients to medicine bags or prayer pouches or whatever you're making, I always like to do that in a clockwise direction. So moving from left to right clockwise, because that opens a container, opens the energies. Sex powder. Nope, wrong lid. You tell your friends, you know, I added the sex powder. I'll be like, you added the what? Excuse me? Okay. Now, I'm going to add my herbs. So I'm adding in, not a lot, just a little bit of each one of the herbs for manifestation and for healing, for excitement and for passion. Try to keep it kind of all in the middle. And this rhodonite crystal I'm adding, it's really perfect for my particular love medicine because I'm all about the light and the shadow, the fun and the fierceness, the play and the gentleness, the naughtiness and the niceness. The powder, I believe, is rose with lavender powder. We ground it all here at Sage Goddess in-house, and then it's honey. It's dehydrated honey, so it's all edible. I'm licking it out from under my fingernail. That was one of our most fun things that we've made here for you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that too. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my sex potion. Sex potion. You don't want to overdo it with oils. It's really about the energy. So, and this is potent. It's got a lot of cardamom in it. I'll just prepare you right now, which is all about opening the sacral chakra, which is why I love it so much. Okay. I'm going to put some of that on. Can't hurt. And then a little bit of the Sage Goddess Night. Setting an intention with that night blooming jasmine, that my jasmine will be night blooming. That's yummy too. What's going on too? Whoa, if you haven't tried that, if you have Sage Goddess Night and the spicy sex potion, holy shit. Hold on, I'm blending right now. Yeah, you may have gotten a different crystal. We kind of did intuitively chosen, and you may have gotten a different charm. So we just sent you some different things to play with, and then, woo, I'm actually putting my sex potion in my Sage Goddess Night because I like it so much. It's like taking that to a whole new level. I hadn't blended those two before. Yeah, Orgasm and Soulmates is great. Could be Chrysoprase. It's a love stone that you got. So it could have been Chrysoprase, Aquamarine, Rhodonite. Alexis can tell you what the all the different combinations were that we sent, but it's something for heart healing. Woo! That's right, boys. You hit that siren. Malachite, too, is a really powerful heart healer. And Stone of the Divine Feminine, so that may be another one that you got in your kit. Okay, now I'm going to take my sex honey, and yes, I'm going to eat it again. Don't judge me. It's just really good. Just a little bit. It's so good. I put cardamom pods in here. I'm going to unstick those with my wand. Oh, it's awesome. Shit. Hold on. I'm going to get one out of there and put it in my bag. Oh, I got 2 out. Look at that. You don't have to try this at home if you don't want to. I'm really going for it tonight. It's so good. Honest to goodness, my sex honey has orange blossom flowers in it and cardamom pods. It is like the best tasting honey in the entire universe. Okay, and then I'm adding lavender with intention for peace. Because even though I want to sex it up, I also want peace and beauty and balance. And then I'm adding a rose for tenderness and compassion and softness. And then let me see if there's anything else I want to add in here. Just kind of scanning my altar. No, I think that's good. And that should be easy for me to bundle up too. Okay, isn't that fun? Oh, Star Anise would be really beautiful. Yeah, Vanya, we'll do sex honey again this summer. It's really, really, really good. I keep eating it. But it seriously is the best honey I've ever had in my life. So, I'll put that on the docket for us. It's good for my cold, too. Palo Santo. Ooh, red spinel. I'm inspired by what you're adding. Oh yeah, and you could do your Olympia herbs because there's lots of little flowers, Life Everlasting, and a couple of other flowers in there that'd be beautiful. Heart's Fire Incense, that's a good call too. I think I have mine. I do. Thank you for inspiring me. I love my Heart's Fire Incense from the full moon a couple months ago. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that too. That's why, it's like keep your tools, because a lot of times, like we ended up using our full moon perfume last night, right, from January. And this is your full moon incense from February. So a lot of times your previous month's full moon tools come in handy when you're doing other. Yeah, cacao would be beautiful. Cannabis, would love that. Woo! Yeah, Carla, the herbs that came with the kit were goldenrod and lady's mantle. These are the 2 that came with it. Everything else that I'm adding is like stuff from my garden or from other ritual kits or other things that we've had in the past. Is that helpful? Agua de Florida, Agua de Rosas would be really, really beautiful to add in. I put so much honey and I don't want any more liquids right now, but if you didn't put as much honey, you could add some of your other floral waters. Would be really beautiful to add. And then this is the honey powder from your mesa this month, and I added some of that in too because honey attracts energy and binds it. Okay, now I want you to say one final prayer and blessing. Use your breath over everything that you've collected. And so, Great Spirit, we ask that you see these tools that we've gathered with intention, as you bless this medicine bundle to call in exactly the energies that we need at this time to bring the passion, the joy, the enthusiasm, the openness. Yeah, why not? I'll spit too. The enthusiasm, the openness, the connectedness, the joy, the excitement, the orgasmic, full potency of our beings, and to gather that energy here so that it attracts to us exactly the people, the experiences, the resources, and the energies that we need. Get your spit. Guess what? Spit's free. Spit is on sale right now. And gather up your 4 corners. Isn't it cute? Your little love medicine, your little love bundle. It's cute. And then you will take your lace. And I like to kind of leave a little bit. You can add hair. Hair, menstrual blood, semen, vaginal fluids, saliva. I'm not showing you all of those options, but they're available to you if you want to add those in. Those are what we call contact points, correspondences, and they contain your life force. Actually, I want to leave just a little bit more off the edge there. So leave a little bit off the edge. Bring it around. Okay. And I'm kind of picky. I like to make sure, let me show you, that I tie it around 1 time, and I have equal amounts of lace. And then what you're going to do is kind of fold up the edge of your lace really tight and poke that through your charm. See if you can pull your charm onto your lace. Might be a little tricky, but you can do it. If not, what you might want to do is grab an extra piece of thread. I have some here from my sage bundle. Uh-oh, my sage bundle just came apart. That's okay. Because you may need to... I don't have a pair of scissors here. Hey, Team SG, can you grab me a pair of scissors? You may need scissors for this because I can't get my charm onto my lace. And then I'll show you. So if you're going to tie your charm on with another piece of ribbon or twine, then you're going to go ahead and tie a single knot. Thank you, Alexis. So stop before you tie your knot. This is the last prayer. You can put your charm inside too. I like to put it on the outside.
Here you go.
Thank you. I want you to notice that my bundle is dirty and sticky and awesome. I like her dirty. Okay, so before you tie the final knot, 1 more breath across. And here, I want you to make your wish. And try to make it concise. 1 wish that will manifest the ultimate love that you seek in your life. On the front, she's clean. On the back, look at her. She's a mess. I love her. Dirty bundle perfume. Carla, you're so funny. Okay, then now that my bundle has completely come apart, I'm going to take my gold thread from it and tie my little crown on my medicine bag. And, you can do this for other people. You can make love medicine for other people. I mean, not without their permission, but if they came to you and said, could you help me make a medicine bundle? You could open ceremony as a priestess, have them work with you to set their intentions. Oh, I like it. I actually really like it with the little gold thread because it took a little bit of a pop of color of the gold thread. It's kind of fun. It's a messy, sticky sex bag. But I like it, and this is going to be sitting by my bed before the end of the night. I keep having to lick my fingers. That's pretty, right? It smells like heaven on absolute earth. Smell your bag. It is so pretty. Yeah, hang it on your headboard. Tammy's got an iron pipe headboard. Hang it on your headboard. I like that a lot. It's going to get to see all of your adventures. Hold on, I'm going to bring my... I don't want to waste this sage, so I'm going to put all these little pieces into my bowl. This is all perfectly good, usable sage. In fact, that's almost a lifetime supply. Each one of those is like a little bundle. I'm very frugal with sage because even though all of our sage comes from a sustainable farm, it's still an endangered plant in California. So, very, very, very careful. You'll never see me waste even a single leaf of sage anywhere in my life. I'm so particular about it. Always guard your sage. Okay, I'm gonna get a baby wipe for my fingers. Hang it in the window. I know, isn't it pretty? Do you love the smell, Callie? It's really, really pretty. Listen, honestly, Dave probably won't even notice mine because he notices things and he doesn't notice things. If I don't say, hey, guess what? Did you see my sex bag over there? He just probably wouldn't even notice. But I also have like a lot of little bits and bobs in my bedroom all over the place, and so it probably just blends in with the rest of the freaky things that I have. Super pretty, right? Well, it's really true. I am so careful with sage. I'm so grateful to that plant. I mean, it really is where my work began, but I'm so protective of it. Like when I'm out hiking and I see it and I see people going and picking it, I'm always like, wup, 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 wup. Careful, careful, careful. That's an endangered plant. Don't overharvest it. Don't pick from that plant. Don't take too much. I'm that person who's trying to educate everybody all the time. I actually don't have handcuffs. I don't like to be tied up. I'm into all the things, but I don't like to be restricted in my movements. I'll tie somebody else up, but I'm not into being tied up. I'm more of a top. Isn't it fun? Aren't we fun? Okay, we are fun. Now, if you have, this was my favorite other pendulum that we got in Tucson. It's a little love pendulum. It's got rose quartz and aventurine and then clear quartz on the top and bottom. So if you have that, some of you have it. You can run your love pendulum over your, ooh, look at that going already. Run your love pendulum over your love bag. My question was, is my love medicine complete? And it's like, yes. Do you see it going? I'm not moving. Is there anything else I need to add to this love bag? No. Isn't that crazy? Pendulums are so accurate. Woo! Will this love medicine attract the energy that I seek? It says yes. And is this energy in alignment with my highest good? Yes. Okay. Isn't that fun? It's still going. It's like, whoa, there's a lot of energy around that. Is there anything else that I need to ask at this time? No. Okay. Whew. Well, then our work together tonight is complete. Now, I want you to, super fun, isn't it? I want you to take your Crystal Masters wand if you have it. Mine's still sticky from all that honey I put on it. It's a cute pendulum. You'll like it. We've had some really fun ones, but I've never had like a heart chakra pendulum before, so you'll really like that one if you got that one. By the way, don't forget to enter to win before midnight tonight for that Scolasite bottle. It's over in our Facebook group. Don't worry about it now, but before the end of the night, make sure you enter. If you have shopped yesterday or today, because I'm giving away that Scolasite perfume bottle, and it's so incredibly beautiful. Okay, now I want you to imagine that through this is a double terminated wand, so it's sending and receiving this, so it creates a vortex of energy. I want you to imagine that through this wand is flowing every life force, every energy stream of love and passion and commitment and connection and intensity and enjoyment and pleasure and seduction, and everything is flowing through this wand. And so this is how we charge medicine bags. And you can make contact with the bundle if you wish to sort of really, affirm that connection, but you don't need to. Energy is flowing through all things at all times. And so it is my intention that through this love medicine flows energies of passion, intensity, connection, beauty, joy, anticipation, excitement, enthusiasm, youthfulness, play, experimentation, exploration, for the highest good of all. May it be so. Amen, aho, and so it is. Amen, aho, and so it is. I'm so stoked about that Sage Goddess Night perfume now that I added the sex potion to it. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to put that in my bath tonight. It smells so good. Woo! I'm actually going to open it and just add a couple drops of the perfume that we made this month just for the energy, since it was in there too. I find that if I don't do these things when I'm thinking about them, then I don't ever come back and do them. I have the intention to do it, but I don't do it. So now this is like the ultimate Athena sex blend. Woo! Listen, I'm small but mighty. It's really true. I'm a small person, but I have a firm grip. Yeah, and you can use, if you don't have a pendulum, you can use a necklace to dowse. You know what I mean? Pendulums are fun, but if you don't have one, you can use your necklace. Oh, that's interesting. Tammy said she had our hanging candle from January lit, and it started to move. That thing is a pendulum. So many of you have reported, and mine is at home, it does the same thing. It will start to sway out of nowhere. That thing is alive. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it too. Ooh, Queen Bee with Majestic Temple. I'm going to have to try that too. Yeah, and you can, I probably will also, this is my medicine necklace from our kit this month. I probably will add some of this blend into that necklace too. I kind of like that this is just the pure perfume, but I'm into that. Okay, now your love medicine is complete. All you have to do is find a good place to put that. Mine is leaking. I really love that she's leaking. She's so feminine that way. I never undo my bundles. I still have every medicine bundle I've ever made. The only bundles I don't currently have are despacho bundles because I bury them. And I have a couple of despachos buried here at Sage Goddess in the ground outside, and I have two despachos buried at home in my current home, and then I have a despacho that I buried in San Francisco. I have a despacho that I buried in San Diego. I have 2 despachos that I buried in San Diego. So other than that, all of my bundles from Olas and everything else are still intact. And I keep them. I have some of them here and some are at home. So it really is up to you. Moist is not my favorite word. Moist grosses me out. I'm one of those people where that word really freaks me out. And I don't know why. But it's just like, moist to me is not hot. It's kind of gross. Am I alone in that? Like, do you like thinking about things being moist? It doesn't excite me. I keep them in my little magic cabinet at home. I keep weird things. That's what I'm saying. One day my kids are going to have the weirdest garage sale. Like, if you're still around, like, it's going to be weird. After I'm gone. As I still have, like, one of my first teachers when I was young, 18, 19 years old, made me a medicine bundle for the future, and I still have that. That's on my altar at home. I still have a lot of things. I just kind of never get rid of things. And I never take bundles apart because I just feel like the energy with which it was created or wrapped, especially if it was made for me, and I've been lucky enough to have a couple of bundles made for me, like I love holding them and come on, Alexis. I like a moist cake. I don't like a moist person. Is that an okay distinction to make? Alexis really likes freaking us out and grossing us out. She does. She does. I can get with it though. Yeah, I don't want moist people. I want moist cake. Okay. Now, your bundle is complete. I want to take a moment with the rest of our time together, and I want to deconsecrate our tools. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put my herbs in the east, the oils in the west, the stones in the north, the medicine in the center, a little powder. I'm going to put my candle back in the south. I love that candle. I hope you really enjoyed your candle from this month. I enjoyed mine. Okay, let me try to drop the camera over here so you can see. Alexis is fun. She really is. I'm very lucky. And she sees some weird shit too, because this is a weird place to work, as you might imagine. It's very bizarre sometimes. So you have to be able to roll with the punches and not take yourself too seriously. Okay. Is that gonna work? Let me try this. Oh, that's better. It'll be good, right? Am I doing this right? There's a delay, so hold on. Okay, I think you can kind of see. So we dedicated everything at the beginning of the month, and now we're going to deconsecrate. A little bit more. And just so you know what we're doing, especially if you're new, when you dedicate your tools, you bind them to the energy of your intention. And when you release them, when you deconsecrate them, you allow them to be used for other purposes that aren't specific to the work that we're doing this month. Okay? Okay. So, begin in the east. We release our Lady's Mantle and our Goldenrod from our purposes this month. We give thanks to the mother plants for offering their energy for our work together. We release our beautiful honey powder from the work this month so that it can work with us in other ways too, giving thanks to that honey, the lavender, the rose, and the other ingredients that were included there. Releasing our candle for this month from its work here, connecting us to intensity and to passion, to beauty and compassion. And we give thanks. Releasing our oils, our acacia and our amber and our blackberry, releasing them from the work of this month. releasing our bundles from the specific work of this month now to go and do their work in our bedroom, in our home, in our sacred space, and releasing both our generator and our wand from Crystal Masters this month so that they can be used for other purposes as well. And so it is. These tools are released. Let's see if I can make a sacral chicken. I love that one of you posted a screenshot of my sacral chicken. I really did look like a chicken. It doesn't anymore. It's because I'd only burned it once or twice and it didn't burn all the way through, and so it looked like a face, and now it looks like a normal candle. It's kind of sad, but thank you to I can't remember who. I think it was Sharon who captured an image of it. Thank you for that. Okay. I want to thank and release the guides and the guardians of the 4 sacred directions and gateways. Releasing the guides and the guardians of the north. Thank you for your protection, your patience, your strength, and your stability. Thank you for your crystals that have guided us and assisted us in our work this month. We release you with gratitude. Thank you to the guides and the guardians of the west for creating space for emotional and sexual healing tonight, and healing around all matters of love. Thank you also for healing around the divine feminine this month. We release you with gratitude. To the guides and the guardians of the south, we thank you for transformation, for creativity, for passion, intensity, playfulness, trickster energy, curiosity, exploration. We release you with gratitude. And to the guides and guardians of the east, we release you this evening. Thank you for your gifts of open-mindedness, expansion, clear-sightedness, helping us to create space for what seeks to come through. We release you with gratitude. And with that, it's so crazy. 2 months of Soul Shift have come to an end. And we prepare to open the gateway to March. Now, what's fun is tomorrow is Elder Council, which is a seasonal, quarterly journey. And it's kind of out of band. It's almost like a void of course moon. We're not quite in February Soul Shift. We're not quite in March Soul Shift yet. And so I hope you're really excited. I'm glad I get to see you one more time this week. So Elder Council is tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. There's nothing quite to prepare yet for Elder Council. I'll come in the morning with a little bit more insight. Usually the morning of is where my spirit guides kind of guide me and direct me about what they want me to do specifically. We've had a lot of bonus classes this month, I have to say. I hope you're enjoying them. We have quite a few bonus classes in March too. Part of it is I don't like to be away from you for too long. I'm glad that you enjoyed the crafting this month too. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Next month is going to be a little bit more experiential. That's why you have that mandala mat that's coming, that beautiful 6-foot mandala cloth that we ordered for you, because we're going to be creating what I'm calling the Ancestral Party Box. We're doing lineage healing next month. And then we're going to sit in that beautiful mandala and grid around our bodies and connect with our ancestors in a different way than we have before. So I'm really looking forward to our work in March together. It's liminal soul shift. I love that. It's a really good way of putting it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Human Design. Human Design is a bonus class for next month. I'm trying to remember. I think there's 2 bonus classes in March. Human Design should be really, really fun. I hope you're excited about that. I'm going to teach you kind of basic Human Design, and then I'm going to give you my Athenatized version of it, kind of the way I interpret it. I am a generator in Human Design, which probably doesn't surprise you. And so we're going to talk about, because I separate generators and manifesting generators from projectors and reflectors, and I'll talk more about that and what you can expect to learn from that. Oh, and then Sacred Space Preparation, oh my God, is the other bonus in March. That's going to be a great session. I'm basically going to have Alexis and Hannah kind of follow me while I prepare for a crystal healing session. So how to smudge, how to clear space, how to say a centering prayer, how to call upon your spirit guides, how to open a circle and call in the 4 directions, and then how to grid under the massage table or where you're going to be working, and then how to close a session, how to release the guides, how to say a closing prayer, how to do a final clearing smudge, and then some protocol around that. Because I'm going to make sure that people know how to prepare for a session, but also how to complete a session too. So usually you'll have but 1 bonus session a month, but in March you have 2. You have human design, and then you have sacred space preparation. So I hope you're excited about that. Okay, so you have a couple things to look for. I recorded part 2 of yesterday's coaching session, and that is available for you. So make sure that if you wanted to listen to the rest of the Q&A, I finished that this morning for you. And then yesterday, I want to say it was yesterday. The days are going by so fast. Yesterday, I posted, I think it's 6 pages of written content for you around the sacral chakra and the life force, and how to open your central channel and run energy more efficiently, with some journaling questions, and that's also on your classroom page. And then later this week, either tomorrow or Friday, I don't mean to inundate you, by the way. Like, if you're already busy and you're like, I can barely keep up with class, you don't have to go and listen and watch and participate in all these extra things. These are just like things I think you should have if you have time for them. But even if you go back and listen or read next month, or 3 months from now, it's totally fine. There's no quiz, but I just want you to know all this content is there. And then by the end of the week, by Friday, there's going to be a follow-up audio Q&A from Crystal Masters with all the questions that I couldn't get to from our last class. I'm going in and giving some follow-up answers to some of those questions too, and then you can go in and listen to that Q&A as well if you would like to. So much love to you guys too. Yeah, and here's the thing, this class, and I want to remind you of this, you're not in a university class. It's not like you have to finish all of February before the end of the day on the 29th, or you're going to get an F or anything like that. Sometimes your spirit knows better. People will tell me, you know what, Athena, I went back and listened to, December coaching in January, and it was actually really relevant for me. It didn't pertain to me, and so my spirit guides knew. Whenever you get around to things is when it's the right time for you. And when you're in Soul Shift, you have lifetime access to all of the content recorded and archived. So I have students who still go back to magical sabbatical classes from 8 and 9 years ago, still accessing that archived content. I had a whole library of content back in the day called the Ars Magica, and some of the original members still go back and access that archived information from all those years ago. So the information itself doesn't age, you know what I mean? So like whenever you get to it is perfect, and from our side, our commitment to you is that you'll always have lifetime access to it as well. So thank you for that. I love you too. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for Soul Shift. I know. Oh, thank you for that. Vanya said I work 50-ish hours at work, and this is what making it all better. Well, and you know what? And you have time for what you want to have time for. Do you know what I mean? I've also learned that in life. And I always know when I really love a class, that's when I like want all the content. When I'm like half in, half out, I'm like, if there's extra material, I'm like not that into it. So it's a huge compliment for me personally that you guys really enjoy the additional content too. It makes me really happy. Thanks you guys. All right. Yeah, you can always go back. The old YouTube stuff is still, I think it's still relevant. Sometimes my thinking has evolved since some of those older videos. So you might find the Athena of today has a more, I don't want to say it's better, a more complex perspective of things than maybe I did 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, just because I've been learning and growing all that time too. But those older videos are still really good. So I say go back and have at it and enjoy everything if you have time to look through them. I think they're still really interesting. It's just you can tell the videos before I started doing a lot of medicine work from the ones now where it's like I've settled into, more of who I am. But it's kind of fun that you got to see me grow up in a way over the last 10 years. I think that's really beautiful. It's different, right? All right, you guys. Well, I see you too. And I see how you're growing and how you're evolving. And I'm really proud of you. I mean, I really, really am. You're doing amazing work. I see the shift in you already, and it's only February. That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine 10 months from now? I'm looking forward to seeing that. I really, really am. So thanks, you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow for Elder Council. Have a great evening.